What's up, guys? It's DJ. Welcome to Gamma Bro Hulk Reviews. Now for your Gamma Dose of the Jade Giant. Today's featured Hulk item. It's this really cool Mexican figure with his friends, Superman and Spiderman. These came out probably about 15, 20 years ago. They are pretty rare nowadays, and the review is coming up next. Thanks for joining me today, guys. So this particular set came out of Mexico. Of course, anything Hulk, either if it's a Mexican figure, a bootleg, if it's something unique and interesting, I will definitely try to pick it up. Early 2000s, but it's definitely around 20 years ago. Mexico, I guess, made a few of these figures of the popular characters, and they sprinkled them out. And then over the years, every once in a while on the auction sites, one or two of them would pop up, and they're mostly just the popular characters. So we have the Hulk, I believe there was a Batman and a Wolverine, and Superman and Spider-Man. Those are the ones of this particular type of figure that I have seen over the years. And again, they're very scarce and very, very rarely come up. Every once in a while, around like 2005 to 2010 range, you'd see them a little bit. But nowadays, you'll never really see these. And if you do, and you like Mexican figures, you like knockoff figures or bootlegs, definitely pick it up. I wouldn't really consider this like a bootleg or a knockoff because there was no other figure that it really copied from. This is just made out of Mexico, and they're very unique figures and stylized figures on their own, and they're not really, copying anything. They're their own thing, and they're really fun. So I will start with Superman and then do Spider-Man and Hulk, and I'll show you what they look like. So here's Superman right now. So this is, I would say, more of your late 90s Superman, maybe early 2000s. Very, very, very stylized, unique sculpts. These are about 3.5 inches tall. I'll just jump right into articulation because all three of the figures are the same. That their arms do move, so you can move the arms up and down, which is cool. These are very, very light, and they're almost like really, really cool, like squeak toys, where you'd imagine that these would be able to like make noises, but they don't. They've never made noises, but I think that this cap at the end here might just be to hold the air in, because these are very, very, very light, soft vinyl, like super soft. And really fun quality, really good quality. I've had no problems or issues with these in the 15 plus years that I had them. Very, very unique and fun. So there's no articulation in the neck or anything. So I'll start with sculpt of Superman. His face sculpt is kind of funny. I do like it. You could definitely tell it's Superman. He's a little, super stylized and huge head compared to the body. I do like it. I like the blue eyes. The hair sculpt's not bad. You could definitely make out it's Superman. But the chest is really nice. The paint on the symbol is good. I like the musculature. It looks really, really fun. The belt and his briefs are not bad at all. This is the only little bit of wear that I've noticed on the belt. It's a really, really thin layer of paint, so it's not applied perfectly. But it still holds up pretty well. A little bit of sheen on the blue and the big bright red boots and the huge, huge cape on the back. I'm imagining the cape is glued. It's held up perfectly. There's been no problems with that whatsoever. So I'm not sure if it's just snapped in or glued, but they did a really, really good job with that. So sculpt, I will give a B for Superman. I think it's, pretty unique. For paint, I think Superman has the most paint out of the three figures. So we have a lot of reds and the yellows and the blues. Then you have the blue in the eyes, the color of the skin, and then the hair. Paint is super, super, super glossy in all areas. There's a little bit of sparkle and shimmer on the blue and a little bit on the S as well, a little shiny. And they did a really pretty good job on the cape for paint. So I will give the paint of this a B+, and they did a really good job. Quality, again, I had these for 15 plus years and no issues with them whatsoever. They've held up. The vinyl is pretty pliable and really good. The arms are fine and move easily, so no issues with that. The quality of these are surprisingly good. I'll give them a B+ overall. Do these have the wow factor? They definitely stand out. particular one stands out a lot because I don't have a lot of Supermans in my collection. I'm primarily Hulk, so held on to Superman and Spider-Man because I just thought they were pretty unique and cool. And I do like Mexican figures, so I do think it has a little bit of a wow factor. I'll give it just an average of B. I don't think it stands out particularly well, but it's still really, really nice. So now we're going to jump into Spider-Man. Again, it's a completely unique sculpt. Each one of these have completely different sculpts altogether. Arms, body, head, everything is very different from one another, which is really, really fun. As for the sculpt of Spider-Man, I think the head sculpt is good. I like how you can see the nose protruding a little bit. The shape of the head isn't bad at all. Here are the eyes. Nice sculpt work on the webbing. Down into the chest. Really good job painting the spider. Nice bulky chest. The spider is not painted in the back, so it's just sculpted. But again, you can see the webs come through there. And then the texture work on the actual outfit is pretty cool. Let's get more up close and personal here. You can see a lot of texture work on the actual outfit. Spider's pretty cool. It's a very unique spider right there. Into the belt and the legs. Very, very shiny blue. Very metallic-y blue, which is cool. And there's the boots. As for articulation, there are 3 points of articulation here. You have them in the shoulders, so the arms can go up and down. I primarily keep the arms up because he's doing the thwipping action with his web shooters here. And then there is a waist swivel here as well, which is very nice. So you can rotate Spider-Man, which is fun. But for sculpt, I think it's a fun sculpt. I do like the sculpt of this a little bit more because I like the sculpt in the hands. A little bit more unique sculpt with all the different webbing and texturing on the outfit. It's very, very well done. So Spider-Man's going to get a B+ for sculpt. For paint, I've always had this issue with this particular figure. I'm not sure why, but in regards to the molding process, the head is a very, very bright red, and then you get into the chest, and it's a little bit more of an orangey, kind of darker red, and then it kind of lights up a little bit more, and then it goes back into the really, really bright red that we have at the top. And then for the hands, you have a really, really fire engine red for the paint in the arms there. So just all these different variations of colors of red and orangish colors. I do like the metallic blue in it. It looks very, very nice. Just because it's not matching perfectly, I will give the paint on this a B. But it's still really good. I mean, no real flaws. The paint on the spider is excellent. And paint on the eye is really nice. And they did a pretty good job overall on paint. So just the different variations in red just kind of throws it off a little bit. And with Mexican figures, it kind of gives it a little bit of charm as well. So I'm not faulting it all that much. And I think it's really fun still. Quality, I'm going to give this a B+, just like Superman. I think these held up and no issues with them whatsoever in regards to quality. Wow factor, I'll also give this about a B. I think when all of them are together, they look really good as a group, but they don't really stand out like all that much in the collection. Again, they're about 3.5 inches tall, but very unique, and they definitely have charm, which I love. Now we are on to the Incredible Hulk himself. Very cool sculpts. I do love it. We will start with the face. We have a little bit of a screaming action. So this one I do like a lot because his mouth is open. So you get to see the inside of his mouth and the good paint on the teeth and the tongue, black eyes. He definitely has a unique sculpt. The face is kind of funny, but again, I kind of like it with the charm. Pretty good sculpt work on the hair. I do like it. Flows nice. You see a lot of different emotion in the forehead, with the wrinkles as he's raging, and down his cheek and his little butt chin at the bottom. The very Chad chin, which is funny. But a pretty good face overall. I love the sculpt on the chest. I think it looks great. Great definition. Nice traps and abs. Nice chest. The back is just crazy looking. I mean, the anatomy on this back is just wonky. Definitely not correct anatomy-wise and muscle proportion-wise, but very fun and comic-y and cartoony, which I do like. Definitely like the musculature. It's just a little strange looking, but I do like it. There's a sculpt of the pants in the back, the rips on the belt and on the bottom. Here's the arms. She definitely has big, bulky arms, which I love. A little bit of texturing in the shoulders. You can see a little vascularity through the muscles. Just done really well, and he has his arms raging, so it fits the what Hulk loves to do, which is scream and yell and have his arms out. So pretty cool pose. I definitely like it. And there's his feet. So for sculpt, I do like it. I think it has probably the most accurate sculpt work of the three. I think Spider-Man's sculpting is still probably better just because of all the different texture work. But for the anatomy-wise and musculature, I really do like this. I think it's really, really done well. So I'll also give it a B+. And just with the sculpt work on the mouth, I think it's just pretty unique, and all the sculpt in the hair. So overall, I think it's really done well. For paint, this has the same problem as Spider-Man. It's not as bad, but the face and the torso are more of a darker green. Definitely not as shiny. Yeah, just really, really flat colored. So that definitely does not match the arms, and coincidentally, the legs, since this is two pieces right here. So the legs are painted the same as the arms, but this texture work here is definitely different. So different color green. It's not terrible, but it definitely, you can see the color differences. So it doesn't match as well. So that definitely is a little bit of a flaw with the paint. But again, they did a really good job on the hair, eyebrows, eyes, the mouth and teeth and tongue. Great job on the pants with the rips staying in there with the green. So on one hand, they did a really good job on the actual paint itself, but just the variation of paint colors throws it off a little bit. So I will give it a B. I think it is B+ quality, but just the variation in colors just throws it off just a little. Wow factor, again, with all three of these together, having Hulk in the middle and Spider-Man and Superman looks great. This is a very unique sculpt, and I really do like it, being 3.5 inches tall. And I can put him on a bottom shelf because his head's kind of tilted up and he's screaming. So it's really hard to find figures that you can put on the bottom shelf that you'd be able to visibly see easily, and he is definitely one of them. So he looks great down there, which I love. So, I mean, he definitely will stand out decently well on the bottom shelf, but I will give it a B just like the others. I think it's generally really, really good. I'll give it 1 thumbs up. There's no crazy wow factor. You won't like pan the collection. He will stand out and pop out. He'll blend in. But on a singular level, just by himself or with the group of three, he is really, really fun sculpt, and I do like it a lot. So quality, as I said, probably around a B+, just like the others, and had no issues with this. I always thought, like, over the years, maybe the air will deflate and it'll just be like a flappy skin, but the air stayed in there and he still held up overall. So I think it's really good. So B+. So overall, as a bundle with the 3 figures, I will give them a B+. Mexican figures come in all shapes and sizes and qualities, and a lot of times they hit the mark and they do a really good job with very unique and creative figures, and the Hulk, Spider-Man, and Superman are definitely in that category. So dealing with trying to find these figures, they are very, very rare. A lot of these older Mexican figures, they're only in limited quantity batches. They're thrown out into the world, and when they're scooped up, they're scooped up. Over the years, I have seen a few examples pop up on the auction sites. Dealing with the price of these figures, they are absolutely all over the place. It really is dependent on the seller and what they think the value of these figures are. I've seen them go for $50 a piece, and I've seen them go for as little as $15. So it's really on how much the buyer is willing to pay, if the buyer is even aware of these figures existing. So people who are aware of these, who are, on the lookout for buying them when they do pop up, they're probably willing to pay a little bit more. I would say $25, $30 is probably the sweet spot for these figures, and if you can find them for cheaper, definitely get them when they do pop up. So I hope this video showed you a new Hulk figure you haven't seen, even with Spider-Man and Superman as well, and keep a lookout for them on the auction sites. So if you like Mexican figures, these are awesome, and I definitely highly recommend them. And they're good quality overall. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please Hulk smash the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you when I see you. So have a wonderful day. Peace.
Peace.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.